this. He said, Rebbe Bir HaMeshula Lefi HaGrua, Surah number Ches. The Grua just makes things simple, usually. Sheniz Boyer Inyan Yehi Lo Ksiv. That's the idea that Yehi is not written over here by this showing that we're talking about. We've been talking about the dates, or when exactly this is talking about. The Bekevish is Boyer La'el, he says, the B'mayim Tansha Ha'aretz Desha. We said this. Like a Bechinish Shem Shalem. There's no concept there in that place that the name is complete. Now, okay, Ki Ata Be'ez Hazroa, that is when the seed is planted, it means the Zohar V'nok, I guess. Adaim Lo Hiskil Zer Anpin the Hisgalos Klau, he's not begun to reveal himself at all. So he says Lakach Gam Lo Kosav Milas Yehi. So the word Yehi is not used. B'mayim Tetra Haaretz Mishum the Milas Yehi Mura Haschalas Gilu Shem Havaya Shal Zer Anpin Besod Shem Shalem, which is the concept of a complete name. Shabir Khan the Fidar. Okay, that's it. Let's say Besod Shalem. Kamoshi is Bar L'Cholan, as we said later on. Let's look at the next one. I started looking ahead. There's a Pirush down below that I really couldn't follow very well. We'll take a look at it when we see this. In the Zohar Chai, he says, Shabir Khan L'Fidarko, V'ayre Khan Be'inyan Mayan Nukvin V'Mayan Duchrim Shel Yisod the Nukva. So you have these two opposite, let's say, vibrations, or whatever that would be, however you would find it in the most fine sense. Or Yasher or Choser besod Trin Yudin of the Os Aleph. So the word Desha, those going to say something like this. Ein Sham Ba'orech. The Zecher B'bir Kan Inyan Yehi Lo Ksiv. So now we explain this. Ki Beis Yudin Shall Yehi. Roma's the Trin Yudin Shal Os Aleph. So this Aleph is from Hanal, the Os Hey Shal Yehi. Yizbar Lochalon B'Sifra. Okay, he says, we can see this later on. V'Omer Kanki B'Maimer Tadsha Ha'aretz. This way he wants to say, in this Maimer, Tadsha Ha'aretz, bring forth this beginning, let's say, of the embryonic stage of Zun. He's a B'Maimer Tadsha Ha'aretz Adasha. Lo Chsiv Milas Yehi, the word Yehi is not written. Os Aleph, because in the letter Aleph, shall Milas Desha, that one, near Mazim Kabar Beis Yudin Elo shall Yehi, V'ayin Sham Ba'orech, which he said had to do with Mayim Nukvin, Mayim Duchrin, and you have a vav in between them. I guess really would be, I could say that was the channel that linked them up. Let's come and look down closer to the beer on number Nud Bet Nun base. I don't quite have it here. Let me see. Where is it? There it is. So I had a little trouble with this, and that's because of the way it's written. Rei Zohar Chai Sham. B'tachid Devar of Zal Lashono. This word Yehi, he said Meforish Heitev Inyan Trin Yudin or Yasher or Choser. Ad Kan. V'ayin Sham Ba'orech, so he has some arichos on that. You'd have to go over there and look at it. V'achar kol arichos, then after he's made all of these arichos, Messiah Bezohar Chai, he goes like this, Sham. So he goes off and he talks about Mayim Nukvin, Mayim Dukrin, and he's saying, he's focusing on it. Where is this taking place? It's taking place in, let's say, the libidinal part of the Nukva, is where her Yesod is located. So he says there's two things. There's coming in and there's coming in and there's going out. And he has this phrase, which some things here. The Nekudas Tzion, Zos, Yesod, the Nukva, he says is a shin, or something like that. Shin, the Nukva is a shin, Mimenu Yatza, Kabara Chitzo, like a lightning bolt. I think that's what it means. Which I wouldn't think was right, but I was not conceiving of this like this. So So am I translating that right? Kabarak is a lightning, and Chitzo is an arrow. I call it a lightning bolt. Now, I would have thought that it was more like a slow vibration, like the crying of a person, something that you need, calling for it, but he says it's like a lightning bolt. He says this lightning bolt is a sod yud tatod la'ela. Yud, mitata la'ela, that's it. It's like the concept of the yud. It's on the bottom and it's moving up. V'or yasher, then the old yasher, gam came yotze min he shebina. It comes out of the letter he, which refers to bina, or kadmo min shin da'aberation. Now all of this, I know we've seen some things about this before in I guess when we're talking about Shara Kavanos, that we looked at tefillin, but I don't remember anything like this. So he says that well, that doesn't mean that much, but kadma min shin the aberration. So there he says is avos, which is something which I don't understand. Avos shavabina. Well, I know what avos and the bina would be the chagat, but I don't see it touched together here, so I just made that up. So let's look at it again. Let's see the whole phrase, and then we'll just move on. He says, he said, it refers to the sukva, where the three lines, okay, so you can say the three lines is the avos. I think maybe we saw that. So the three lines is coming into the nukva, into her yesod. So from this place, like a lightning bolt, or choser, it just shoots right out, full of energy. So yud metata la'ela, that's the yud on the bottom. It's going from the bottom to the top. Then he says v'or yasher. How about that one? That's also coming in because it should be. That's the one I would have thought maybe would be the three lines. He says yasher gam came yotzim in hey shebabina. It comes from the hey in bina. Now I don't know what hey he means in bina, because the hey usually, the first hey usually refers to bina. So that's ways it comes out from there. Or kadmoa. So this is the original light, or this is the, I don't know, it's a pneumistic light. And this comes from the shin of arboration. Now maybe because arba here in this case refers to the four mochim. I don't know, because that would sound right. The arba open, and then he says the word avos, shavabina. So we had this thing where there's three mochim chabad, then they turn out to be four. But when they come into Zeranpin, they go back to being three again. They go down the three lines. So maybe that's what he means. I mean, I'm just really speculating. I mean, Shin the Arboration is the Avos Shababina, is the Avos that are coming down from Bina, let's say. Once again, it comes out like a lightning bolt. Barak, I can't get the words out. Chitza, like a lightning bolt, or yasher, which is or yasher. So you have a tremendous amount of energy, of inner energy coming from first he said from the bottom with which is represented by the shin of three legs. And the other one that is the Maim Nukvin, lightning bolt, and a lightning bolt coming the other way. So he started with the bottom and he went going from the bottom to the top. Now he's talking about the top to the bottom. Or this is the concept of let there be light. Okay, so this is the concept of let there be light going on or yasher, lightning bolt of light. So now this all he says is really the secret of the word desha. Kol hakol, that word tells you everything. It's kli. What's the kli? So daled shel desha. So the kli is the concept of the daled shel het desha. V'tzalim b'chosim, it's also the concept I don't know how this all goes together, but with the light of the tzalim, and bringing the chosim into the yesod of the nukva. V'sod shin shel desha, that's the shin shel desha. I don't really see how putting this together. I'm doing the best I can. Penimis or neshama, so then the penimis is the or of the neshama. So penimis, we can read this again one more time. That is the Or Shama is besod the Aleph Shel Dasha, is the secret of the Aleph of the Dasha. That's the Aleph, okay? V'sod shin, now the shin of the desha. Hayudua, the shin of Yudua. Al kain lo v'sod shin hayudua. Al kain lo ksiv yehi. Now, I think I missed the taich here. Let's go back. I think it was Upanemius or Hanashama besod al shal desha. V'sod shin hayudua al kain lo ksiv yehi. I'm sorry, there's a lot missing there, so I couldn't really put it together. Ella the Krinin Trin Yudin the or Yasher or Choser Hanal Ba'os Aleph Shal Desha. All of that represents the two lightning bolts, and they call them lightning bolts from up above and down below. Ad Kan Ba'ayin Sham. That is actually the best I could do with that. I mean, it probably a lot more, and maybe we'll see more next time. Now, where we're at now, there's a juxtaposition here, so I think we had that problem last time. And let's see how we would do this. So, just to read it in some kind of context, let me move this up gently. And go back to page Kuf Tzadi Hey. So in Kuf Tzadi Hey, or really, no, actually it's on Kuf Tzadi Dalet. Just reading the top, just to get the flow of what happened here, because I think there was a juxtaposition. Like I said, the things are out of order in the back. V'yom Elokim Tajah Haaretz Desha, Esav Mazriya Zera. And so we went through this. We've just been going through this. Eitz Pri. Now, in different places, is a Haino Dechsiv. It says of Anisem as Nafsho Seichem. Batisha the Chodesh Be'erev. So he says, we kind of went through a lot of these different things and these timings that we're talking about. Then it said, B'hai Zimna, Adni, and then Havaya, which is Menuka with the Nekudas of Elokim. Adni, Havaya, Ata Hachilosi, Laharos as Abdukoch as God Lucho. You begin to show your servant your greatness. So that's that quote over there. Havaya shlim b'sitroi. So Havaya is shlim, and we went through the different kinds of possibilities that the word sitroi mean, like on the side. The Chayutzvin, let's say, the easiest one for me was to think that we're talking here about the nukva on the side of Adam and Eve, like that. Now, as it is in the embryonic stage, I think that's pretty much where we kind of got an idea we could say like that. Lo shlim, it's not complete. We said because the nukva moves up to be with bina. Yehi lo kasiv, and that's a little bit of what we just picked up over here. The yehi is not written in this because it's not. There's no shlemus there. Now let's see, is this where we're at or no? Not yet. So we krinen yud iloh yud tato. So we call it like that. What two Yudin? We just talked about it. And here's another place where you see it, a double Yud in the word Vayitzer. So he says, and you know, you just had that idea that we just saw there, what refers to Mayim Nukvin and Mayim Tochrin. So the Yud Iloh Yud Tato. Then he says, and it makes the word Yehi. So he said, Yud Iloh Yud Tato, Hey Begavaihu. Klala the Shlimo Shlim Velo L'chol Star. So the Klala, I don't know, as it comes into Yesod, I don't know, Klala, the Shlimo Shlim Velo L'chol Star. It's not complete on all sides. So then it says, and I don't know if we really dealt with this phrase. He says it's Aker Mahai Aser, and it's uprooted from this place, which I think means it's born out. So he says, Asker Mahai Aser Shma Do. The Ishtil Ba'achra, and it gets planted somewhere else. Kasiv V'yita Hashem Elokim, and it says that Hashem Elokim will make that planting. Now, this is the place where I think we're supposed to be. So, like I say, I think some of this is out of order in the back, so, yeah. So, number test, he says, Hey Ben Yud Liyud. Going back over the same idea of Yehi. Nashbach de Pardashka, it really is the breath or the what would you say, the stream of air, the blowing of the nose, the blowing of the nose, the Atika the Zera, and from Atika the Zera the Anpin. So he said below Rucha lo Iskayim, because if there's no Ruach for Zer Anpin, this is interesting too, because Zer Anpin is the Ruach. So he says without the Ruach for Zer Anpin, he can't, and that comes from the nose, he says, aware of Eric Anpin. He's going to get more into the woods on that too, I think. So lo Iskayim behe ishtakal he ilo he tatoa. So the he is the agent or the medium by which the two yuds are, he is shakalo, he ilo, he tatoa. I'm not sure what is it, dividing? I don't know. Dechsev aha adni elokim. So he says, alas, it's adni and then elokim back together. Now let's say that I didn't understand a whole bunch of that. Let's look at it a little bit more, and let's see if we can get down into the smaller print. Okay, so he says, we'll read the blurb. And didn't come clear to me the first time I read it. And now we explain like this. At birth, so in other words, he's out of the womb. He's born out. It's going to be replanted. That's an interesting phrase in the concept of a netiya. I don't know if I really developed that or really know that. How is it the strength to be able to be replanted, I guess to be rebuilt as an entity by himself? Depends on the ruach of the chotem. What chotem? He says the chotem de Erik Anpin, hanimshach the Zer Anpin, which is going to be stand down to Zer Anpin. So it is this aspect of the nose, the chotem of Erik Anpin, okay, which is going to blow on Zer Anpin, besod oz hey shal milas yehi. And let's read again. How did he get to this? Because he says it's the chotem de Erik Anpin, which goes to Zer Anpin through the medium of the letter hey. I'm starting to use this word medium now, of the letter hey, milas yehi. V'yivor od ki gam hanukva Yotza im Zer Anpin b'koach, the same koach azer shel oz hey al-yona. V'hu sod chiber b'oz hey al-yona im oz hey tachtona. Now we mentioned that before. He said that at the end. He's not saying there's two hays. Well, there's the hay of Bina, the hay of Malchus, I guess. Shechem Bina, he says it. Shechem Bina Malchus. Ki ruach ha-chotem hu Bina de Keser. What is the ruach that comes from the chotem? So he says this is the Bina. It's I think Chotem is Gematria Sag. I'm just thinking of that. I don't know how it works. Ki Ruach HaChotem Hu Bina de Keser is the Bina of Keser. If you look into Keser and you look at the top part of Keser, you see that sphere of Bina. That is the place that the Ruach of the Chotem comes from. V'Hanukva Hi He Tachtoina. The Nukva will represent, of course, you're delivering it there. So it spells like this. What is the koach ne'akar zer anpin b'nishtol b'makom achar b'bitin in the tia? And tia means a sapling, like something that is just beginning to grow. So he says, how is that possible? What's the koach that makes that possible? So the pasuk v'yita, that pasuk over the canal. So we just saw that at the end of the last sif. V'omer, hey ben yud, the yehi. So we know that. So the bridge between these two is really made through the oz hey. Now there is a note on this, and maybe we'll see it the next time we look at this. We'll look at it again. Let's read it through. Nashpa de bardashka. So it blew out of the nose, the Hatika, the Ze'eret, from Hatika to Zeranpin. Hatika to Ze'eret. And he says, and we'll try to get through this, I guess, at the time. I'm not watching it that carefully. So now we'll keep going. And he says, the Anpin, Shehu Sod Neshivas Ruach HaChotem, which is the secret of the blowing of the Ruach of the nose, the Erik Anpin, which we said before is coming from the Bina of Keser, of Erik Anpin. It's going to be a very high place. Hanikra Pardashka de Hatika, which is called by that name. Because it's in its root is in that place, in the Bina of Keser. And from it that is the source, he says, of the blowing, of the breathing of the Ruach Chaim. Hanimshach Lamata El Zer Anpin. That's also obviously, since Zer Anpin is mashpia through Malchus to us, that's also the source of our breath. Is that whatever the inspiration is that causes your lungs to start working, it's come from there. He said, so he said, "Below rucha lo iskayim, ba'al yedecha berucha bezed na'asach anatiyah." And now this is how this natiyah is made. Ki below ruach chayim ha'elyon shalachotem anirmas ba'os hey canal. He has to have something to say about how the hay is a symbol of the nose. Ein kiyum v'tikun l'zer anpin. There's Zer Anpin can't make it. The omer od behei ishtaklo ki b'koach ha'os hey hazos. This hay, which represents the bina, the keser of Erik Anpin, shal ruach hachoytem ha'elyon de Erik Anpin, yatzach nukvel de Zer Anpin yachad im Zer Anpin. It also causes her to come out. V'nisaktach v'nishlebach b'bechin the canal also. And Mavur Odin explains over more about this. He says, Ki inyin yitzias v'tikun anukva, ayedecha berucha b'chodesh amarnu, hu b'sod chibur bina umalchus. Okay, well, we can hear that, but I'm not sure what he means. Shehem sod shtei osius hayin, which is the secret of the two hays. Just so we're getting confused. Well, in the word yehi, there's only one hay. But he's saying actually there's two hays, because one of them, part of this is going to nukva. Shtei osius hayin v'omer hey ilo, ki ruach hachoytem ha'elyon de'erik anpin, hu b'sod os hey elyonin. So that's the ruach going to Zer Anpin. Elyona shall milas yehi sheshosha bebina, which has its root. Now he's saying in bina. If we took what we just learned about the mein nukva, mein dukrin, so then you see that all the way back there in the midst of this ruach is also these two forces. They're also in this hay, which he said represents the nose. Sheshosha bebina elyona shebekasa, as we said before, coming all the way from that panimi place. So hey to how about that? V'chanukva he sod os hey tachtoinen. Shehi hey achrona shel shem Havaya, because she is the final hey in the name Havaya, of course. V'nimseki min os hey elyona de bina shebekasser. So that we have a hey elyona in the bina of kasser. Yatsa v'nisakek v'nisakna os hey tachtoinen de malchus. Just let me read this again. Ki min os hey elyona de bina shebekasser yatsa v'nisakek. Also, he didn't say also, but I said that. But hey tachtona de malchus, v'harei kan kiber beis hayin shall bina umalchus, and that causes that these two to be, I don't know, genetically aligned. They have what? A chiber between the two of them. Dechsev v'zehu, so the pasuk, this pasuk, alas ataha adni, and then he says avaya, which is menukad like that. I don't know. So help me out here. He says pirush milas aha. Romas the Hebrew base osios hayin. It's the concept of bringing the two hays together, shall bin umalchus. I'm not sure that I really see that or can understand that. Maybe I'm misinterpreting it, because the word aha doesn't mean like I just literally took the art scroll and they said it means alas. But actually, this word is really aleph, hey, and hey. So whatever the force of the aleph is, and I think he mentioned it previously, but I'm not sure that I remember. Well, the aleph represents, they did say, it represents the mein nukvin and mein duchrin. And then the vav could be the transporter, but at any rate, it goes into these two hays, which somehow, that's what I think he means. He thinks he's putting those together like that. So in that word, aha, that's where you see all of this power. Roma's the Hebrew base osius hayin. It's really talking about this. Shall bina umalchus. V'amba behemshech pasuk. So in the middle of this pasuk it says like this: Ki elu shtei hayin, hayin sod shtei shemus adni elokem. So one is adni, that's malchus, and the other one is elokem. It's the secret of those two. Melokem is bina. Ki malchus nikra adni, ubina nikras elokem. Okay, that's it for today. And so next time we look at this, we'll start looking at the details and see if we can get it again. This is Bar Flashman. You've been listening to the Tikkun Elevator Call Up.